She said to me that there's too many people like you here and our industry is sick and tired of people like you. I'll put the effort, I'll do my part, and hopefully if it's destined for me, it will happen. When you take the stairs up, it is much better than taking the elevator up.
But I want to know, if there was one free murder, which hater would you kill and why?
Are we taking names?
Feel free, of course.
There's so many, Kareena. Like, where do I begin?
Yeah, you have to name one. You have to pick one.
I can't say names, but I can say one thing. There was one casting director that I met in the first few months that I came to India, and she almost made me feel like packing my bags and leaving.
Oh God, like what did she tell you? That you're never going to make it?
She said to me that there's too many people like you here and our industry is sick and tired of people like you and we don't want you anymore. She was screaming at me. She was shouting, we don't want you anymore and you are talentless. We don't want you. And I was like, you know what? I totally understand where you're coming from. Thank you. Bye-bye. And I just left and I cried so much. And I didn't ask for it because that casting director called me. I didn't even know who she was. She called me to her house and she sat me down just to scream at me. And I was new in the country, so I was like, is this what everyone does here? Like, they just call people to scream at them.
Oh, God.
So maybe what she said to me and how she said it, maybe low-key was like a driving force. You never know.
Yeah, it kind of pushed you.
It kind of pushed me, definitely. But of course, I feel like when you take the stairs up, it is much better than taking the elevator up because the elevator, the lift could break in out of nowhere and you can get stuck.
Right.
And you can't get out. At least with the stairs, dhire you go up and you encounter certain things and you solve those problems.
Right, right.
Learning the language is very, very important. I have met a lot of artists, Kareena, who are not from here, who didn't care about the language. But I didn't respect that. I think that if you come to someone's country, you need to assimilate and you need to learn.
That's amazing. Wise words from Nora Fatehi. I must ask you this, that for our Dabur Amla Aloe Vera Want It All moment, tell me about a time where you thought you weren't going to get all of it and then eventually you kind of, got it all.
I think it happened a couple of times. My run in the last 5 years have been constant auditioning, constant breaking my back to kill an audition for a film or a show or an ad or a song. And every time that rejection happens, where I'm like, no, I'm almost 100% sure I'm going to do this, I'm going to get it. And when the rejection happens, I would break and I would think, that's it, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, it can't happen. Also, when you start hearing that conversation of, nepotism and industry people and outsiders, when that conversation happens and tends to happen a lot, it intimidates people like me because you keep thinking, you keep getting reminded of something that you're trying to forget. When you're hustling, you don't want to remember all these things, you just want to think about, I'll put the effort, I'll do my part, and hopefully if it's destined for me, it will happen. And also I think that I was so hungry that no matter how many failures I went through, I always said, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Maybe I didn't get this film or maybe I didn't get this show because it wasn't good for me. And maybe something better is coming. So I trained myself mentally to think that. And I think every artist needs to believe that because, it's so funny. A lot of the things I didn't get that I cried about, they ended up being bad projects anyway. So, so I end up saying thank you,
it was a
God.
win-win.
Yeah.